1921, as the video presented, the Institute admits women for the first time. This being, in a way, an extrapolation of the extension of suffrage to women. But it was not expected that women would be interested in all fields. As the catalog points out, for example, quote, "All courses of the college are open to women on the same terms as to men. Naturally, certain types of courses should appeal more strongly to women students than other courses. The engineering curricula, while not appealing so strongly, perhaps, as those of applied science and agriculture, contain possibilities for women students. Certain phases of engineering work are being entered to a considerable extent by women, particularly those which relate to drawing and design, calculation, and the application of theory." What's going on here that you should know is that in the 20s, 30s, and 40s, women were thought to be really good at math, really good at because they were good at details. In fact, the first calculators in this country were large teams of women doing series of mathematical calculations. That contrasts sharply with what later came to believe, that women are less capable in mathematics. In the 20s, the state-level mission, the mission to support the state is expanded, focusing equally on the engineering and agriculture arenas while introducing more generally commercial interest. New fields in ceramic engineering appear, architectural engineering. It's in the 30s where the fields of metallurgical engineering and aeronautical engineering arrive. It's in the 40s that the first course called Engineering Fundamentals appears, although those who have taken Engineering Fundamentals at Virginia Tech would be interested to know that this course was originally a special summer short course for women. As reported by the Radford newspaper in May of '43, the School of Engineering at VPI is, quote, "offering a special short summer course in engineering fundamentals to teach women to do the work of an engineering nature so that they would be qualified to fill the many vacancies left by men who were going into the rapidly expanding armed forces." And a year later, this summer course was turned into a college credit course, as reported by the Farmville Herald in 1944. This course was designated, quote, "to teach women to make engineering drawings, prepare maps, test and inspect engineering materials, assist in experimental research, make computations, compile reports, and handle technical correspondence." In the 50s, the field of geological engineering is introduced, and it's in the mid-50s, 1955, that Virginia Polytechnic Institute first admits black Virginians. There's a long history here of a separate but equal structure. Actually, prior to the Civil War, black Virginians were prevented entirely from going to school. Until the Civil War, there was a state law that banned any school, private or public, from educating black Virginians. For example, in 1854, a white woman went to jail for a month for conducting elementary school for free black children in Norfolk. By 1890, the state was supporting one institution for higher education for African American men and women. And then in that period, Virginia State University as a school for black Virginians also gets established. The policy being separate but equal, which had significance for engineering students. It was during the 1950s when Virginia Tech was basically forced to admit its first black engineering students. This was following a policy that existed for some time, that black students could only be admitted to a white university if the black schools did not have the curricula that would fit them. So the students that were admitted to Virginia Tech were, during the 1950s, were admitted only in fields of engineering. If they decided at any point to drop out or to change curricula, they'd have to leave the school. But because of policies of segregation, these students were not allowed to live on campus, and they were not allowed to participate in sports and much of everyday life. But finally, in 1955, there was formal admission of black Virginians.